Hi, this is Tola. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to create a time-sensitive read-only text box. So what is a time-sensitive read-only text box, and does it have any real applications? Well, here's an example. So I created a game called Poetry Ball's Whale. It works like this. You click the wheel, it lands on a word. I believe it landed in salami. Typically, the clock counts down from 60 seconds, but for the purpose of this exercise, I've set the timer to 10 seconds. So you hit the start button, and you write something about salami in really great on. See? So you can see that by the time the clock hits zero, the timer hits zero, the text box stopped working. And if I hit the reset button, I'm able to type again. So for the purposes of the game, it allows for constraint, right? So from 10 seconds to zero, you're allowed to write as many words as you want. Once the timer hits zero, you can't write anymore. That's the objective of the game. So I'm not going to go into much detail as to how I created the wheel or the timer. I'm going to focus primarily on how I ensured that the text box was mutable or unusable when the timer hit zero. So I'm going to highlight this bit of code here, and I'll go through what I did. So I've highlighted the function which performs this operation. So I'll go through it step by step. This line of code here says that the display, which is the timer, is set to I, and I is 10. That's 10 seconds. This line of code here means that when I hit the start button, the countdown begins from 10 seconds or from 60 seconds, whatever you set it to. This line of code says once I is less than zero, then everything stops. That's what this line of code here means. The stop button, which is this, which I showed, which is here, within the HTML, I believe is here. Exactly. So that's the line of code. This line of code here is a function that can be found here, but I won't go into more detail there. Anyway, this line of code means that by the time the clock hits zero, it reverts back to start. But here's the most integral. The text area must be set to read only and must be equal to true. So if I get rid of this line of code here, and I save, I'll then reload the page. We can see whether or not it has an effect or not. So starting from 10, 6, 5, 4, 3. It's kind of slow. You can see that the text box is still functioning because that line of code has been removed, right? So if we return it and we save, so pasta is my favorite dish. Oh, wow. Okay. You can see that the text box is not functional. So by using the method document.getElements by ID to call this object from within the HTML by its ID text area, and using the attribute readonly, which is case sensitive, so it's going to be written precisely like this, and equating it to true. The text box is now time sensitive. So how do you reset the text box so that you can type again? Well, you use this line of code that I've highlighted. Use the method getElement by ID against the text area, which again is here. So that's for against the text box basically, which is called text area. You use the attribute readonly again, and you set it to false. That's it. So that's how I created a time-sensitive read-only text box. So here are some definitions that I think might be useful. So what's the document in the line of code? The document is an interface representing the web page. So there you go. GetElement by ID, like I said, is the method through which you pull the HTML text or object from the HTML console. Readonly is the attribute, right? So that's what you apply onto the object to perform the function that you need it to perform. So readonly is Boolean, which means it's true or false. So it can either be one or the other. So when you're resetting, you set it to false. In normal functionality, you set it to true. Alright, so I've set the clock to 60 seconds, and I'm going to write a poem to round up this video. So let's click on the wheel. The word is pasta. Alright, let's go. Pasta. Oh, my friend. The tomato and the sauce within keeps me warm and content. Oh, my pasta. Delightfully yours. On a plate? No. Never will I share my meal with low lives. Lives. Pasta, what's wrong with me? Is just for me. Just me. So stupid. Unbelievable. Anyway, that's how you create a time-sensitive read-only text box. If you found it useful, please follow. Like I said, if you want me to show you how I created the wheel, the timer itself, any of the buttons, any of the design features, then leave a comment in the section and I might just do that. Thank you for watching. Catch you again next time.